Parents strongly caution the following programs are intended for mature audiences over the age of 18. These programs may contain some material that many parents would not find suitable for children and may include intense violence, sexual situations, coarse language, and suggestive dialogue.
Wednesday afternoon. You guys know how it is. We like to do our international bands on Tuesday and Wednesday. So we got Joe here from Dead Addiction all the way from fucking Ireland.
What's up, dude?
This is the first band we've had from Ireland.
Yeah, really. It's thank you guys for having me on. It's an absolute pleasure to be here.
Oh yeah, we love our bands. We love our indie bands, and we love our bands from overseas. And we really actually go to great lengths trying to find them. But you found us. So.
Yeah. I've been a big fan of it for a while. You know, I've followed the podcast. I've watched a few of them, and I just sort of like said to the guys, you know, I'd love to get on this here some night. These are some awesome guys. They're a lot of fun on this.
Yeah, we try
to have a lot of fun here.
We don't like to have everybody come on. Fucking boring shit. Yeah, we don't like doing the boring shit. Which I'm gonna get right into it. What made you? Now, I love the '80s. I have this massive infatuation for the '80s. I tell everybody the '80s was the best. The movies were the fucking best, especially the horror films. Because anything after the '80s, horror-wise, really kind of just fucking sucks big donkey dick. So
yeah,
what made you guys decide to stick to like doing the '80s themed rock?
Well, the crazy part of it is that it's see, me and some of the guys, we didn't know each other before before we get into the band. My guitarist Chris and drummer Stephen, they're two brothers, so them two are pretty much attached at the hip. And Danny, they all went to the same school. Danny's our bass player, and they all had the same infatuation. I mean, they're all big Terminator fans. They loved everything about the '80s, but it's one of the things that sort of clicked, like with me right away with every member of the band, because like you said, you know, there's no other movies like the '80s. The music, everything was just completely on fire. I mean, do you ever listen to a song sometimes and the hairs on your arm will just stand right up, and it just hit a spot in your body, and you go, no, I think I want to start doing this sort of thing, you know.
Trust me, I find bands all the time on YouTube. I'm like, God damn, all right, now I got to get this fucking band on here. I got to play their shit. Yeah, and I like, because there's other bands that are now starting to do the '80s stuff, which I think is cool as shit. Some of them are doing just straight up just '80s, and I mean, I'm a musician myself. I'm in a band. We don't do that, but I have a side project that I do '80s synthwave as just a side project, just because I love doing it and I like it. but I'm starting to see a lot of metal bands put 80s styled synth and different stuff into their music. And I'm like, this shit's fucking rocking. Like, there's people like trying to make fun of it. I'm like, fuck y'all, this shit's awesome. I fucking love that shit.
Yeah, people eat it up. They literally just eat it up. It's amazing. I mean, like, we were pretty much all grew up with the same influences. I mean, most of us, were born in the late 80s, early 90s. And, we all loved the movies like, Lost Boys, Back to the Future, and it's sort of like made us click together, and half the stuff that we would write about our songs, these sort of things, that the writing and the structure of the songs, they actually happened accidentally. When every one of us are in a room together, it just seems to take off. It's like everyone in the band has a different piece of the puzzle, and it just makes it whole.
So those of you that are watching, these guys have one of the greatest band pictures I've ever seen in my life. Hands down. That is not.
I fucking love it.
I want to know where the hell you even found a fucking DeLorean at.
Like, no shit.
Well, see, the crazy thing is that DeLorean, they were actually made here in our country. They were made in the next town over in Lisburn. And we had a lot of family members that worked on them. And we sort of, when we were putting our concept album together, we were sort of trying to come up with, okay, well, what will we use for like our police cruiser? And we all loved GTA Vice City. And, you get the 3 stars coming after you. And next thing you know, undercover cops are coming after you in a sort of DeLorean-like car. And we went, you know what? That would be amazing. So we knew of one place that had one, and it was Queen's University here in Belfast, and they have an electric model, and they were we were so grateful. Like, they didn't charge us a thing. They were really, really happy to help us out, and they pretty much just said, yeah, well, we have this DeLorean here. It runs, it's fully electric, and he sort of like put it in different ways and different sort of positions and let us get into it. I mean, like, he left the key in the car with me, and I'm sort of just looking at the key and going, I wonder, can I just start this thing off?
I also got to get it up to 88 miles per hour, huh?
Yep.
Oh, I could have, and more.
Oh, man.
That's like, amazing. All right, Mosh, you up?
Well, I mean, since you brought up, GTA and stuff like that, like what song of yours would you put in a game, and what would you be doing?
Any song or any of ours, or
any of yours?
Any song.
You know what? That's a tough one, because we have so much songs right now that connect to, the sort of violence and anarchy that GTA brings. I would definitely say it would be Chaos. In the city of Base and Man, where there's nothing short of chaos and nothing short of sin.
Facts. Especially in GTA. Like, every time anytime me and my buddies play freaking GTA, it's just boom, boom. Everything is fucking exploding and bodies going everywhere and stuff like that. Yeah, it's completely anarchy. All right, CP.
Yeah. All right. James. So, with you being over there in Ireland, what is your favorite traditional food that Ireland has to offer? You
know what? It's got to be Irish stew.
Okay. And what is that? What is that in there?
Well, traditional Irish stew, it has lamb in it. I'm not a big fan of lamb, so I would go for more like of a beef stew. It just has potatoes. It has carrots, some beef stock, some ground beef, and just cutlets of beef. It's really tasty. Okay. It's the type of meal that you would expect guys to be making like when they're out wild camping. Just cooking on the big crock pot. and just slopping it right down. You know, the sort of stuff that you see the chef in Red Dead Redemption make, and he sort of just slaps it right on the plate. That's what it's like. It looks horrible, but it tastes amazing.
Shit, that's like a fucking can of Dinty Moore. Y'all remember the cans of Dinty Moore?
Yeah.
Holy shit, y'all have Dinty Moore out there?
You know what? I actually don't think we do. I've heard of it. I have heard of it. You know?
Yeah, let's say it's just cans of they're a big fucking red and white can of damn beef stew, and that's exactly what it is. Potatoes, carrots, chunks of meat, brown gravy, and as a kid, it was cheap to get Dinty Moore. So if you're a little bit more on the poor side, like, you know, I grew up, fucking those cans were like, I think it was like a 50, 75 cents back then in the 80s for a
back
big
then it was.
Yeah, they'd fucking open and that one can could feed like 4 people with some rice. They got a side of rice, dump that shit on the rice, mix it up, fucking that was it.
I still cook that to this day.
I do too. I ain't gonna lie.
I will never.
I do too.
Like that's
it's a staple.
Yeah.
So I have a second part to this. What is the strangest traditional food in your country that you've had?
Okay. There's a thing we call over here called dullis. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
No. Well, dullis is essentially dried out seaweed.
Okay.
Literally, it can be hit and miss. I used to like it, but it's incredibly salty. It's very good for you, but it is incredibly salty. Really, really salty. It's not really everybody's palate, you know.
You're right. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I thought he was gonna come up with some crazy shit, like something like the Scottish have with like haggis or some shit.
Yeah, I often think to myself, how do people come up with this shit? I mean, what makes one wake up one day and go, you know what? Let's stuff all this stuff into a sheep's stomach and boil its ass.
Yeah, I've never understood. I actually like haggis.
I've never tried it.
I will go to a Scottish. There's a bunch of Scottish bars around here. Now they don't have it all the time. They only have it like seasonal here. But I do like going to the Scottish bars, and I'll go in there and get a bunch of Scotch eggs because I love fucking Scotch eggs. Oh. And I'll eat like 4 of them bastards with fucking
I just learned how to do that.
And I'm the only motherfucker in there eating haggis, and everybody's looking at me, and they're like, "What the fuck are you eating?" I'm like, "Look, I'm mostly Scottish. Fuck off. I like this shit. I've ate it. I grew up eating it. Kiss my ass. It's not that bad. Just try it. Give it a shot. It's not that damn bad. All right." No, that's horrible. That's horrible. I'm like, there's way worse shit in the world that I've heard of. Have you ever watched that damn show with Anthony Bourdain before he died, and he was eating all that fucking weird shit from different countries, and they were making him drink like fermented cow's blood? That haggis is way more appetizing than that.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's
I've ate a lot of shit. Like I've eaten tarantulas. Oh yeah, that was rough. Nobody told me that you're supposed to fucking burn the hairs off before you eat it.
Oh, that's even worse.
So these bitches are like a fucking cactus. When you fucking eat it, you stick it in your mouth, and it's actually not bad. It actually tastes like sunflower seeds. That's what it tasted like eating it. Eating it was not bad. It was not gross, but the hairs are like a cactus, and they stick in your mouth. And so I had this mouth full of tiny hairs that were all in my tongue, all in the roof of my mouth, all on the sides of my like cheek flesh. And I was stuck with that for like 24 hours trying to get that shit to like come off. And it was super irritating.
Nope. I'd take my son's weird ass sandwich than that right there.
Oh shit!
So what is your music scene like over in Belfast? Is it I've always heard that it's like primarily pretty heavy and like heavy metal and like death metal and stuff like that.
Yeah, it could be hit and miss. You know, sometimes you have you have a lot of indie bands. You have a lot of bands like ourselves that would appreciate more of a sort of 80s style heavy metal, and you've got guys that they're big into their death metal and screamo music and stuff. And it's the great thing about it is that over here, I mean, like, there's not as much support as we'd like, but I mean, the shows are always packing out, and that's for every gig, every musician over here, we always do everything we can to support each other. We all come to each other's shows, but not because we're obligated to, but it's genuinely because it's you have a great time. You really have a great time.
Right.
Remember times you go and bands will pull you up and stuff, to sing, and it's great. It's what I want from a night out.
See,
Get up and sing.
I love hearing that there's still there's indie scenes all over the place, but it makes me jealous as fuck because we don't have one here at all.
No?
I have to drive 2.5 hours just to see any kind of decent band. There's just really no local music. Now there's bands here, but about the only bands that you're going to really see playing at bars or anything, they're always cover bands. There's no really independent music scene here of bands writing original music. 99% of it's all indie bands, and they're doing because we live on the beach. So a lot of it's like beachy style, like the Beach Boys, the Eagles, fucking, shit like that. Maybe you might catch some bands that are playing like some old 80s stuff, like, I don't know, fucking, now I can't even think of the goddamn fucking bands. Oh, Fleetwood Mac type stuff. You'll see a lot of Fleetwood Mac type stuff and a lot of reggae. So there's a lot of bands that play stuff like, fucking Bob Marley covers and shit like that, which it's cool, but there's just no indie scene here at all. And I'm like, God, this sucks. For my band, we can't even, there ain't nowhere for us to fucking play, even if we fucking wanted to. There ain't nowhere to play.
I mean, over here, it's everybody over here seems to have a very sort of collective taste, and I could never even say that maybe indie bands are bigger than bands in our style of music, or maybe bigger in the sort of heavier scene. Genuinely, a lot of people where we are from, and they really like it heavy. They like a lot of real heavy music, and it's recently I think just a lot of them being sort of born in the 70s and raised in the 80s, or maybe being born in the 80s. I mean, we have people coming to see us that they're in their 50s. They lived the 70s. They lived the 80s, and I mean, even them, they're bringing their kids and stuff to see us. They think we're awesome. We love it, because those are the type of people that experience that sort of music. So if it sort of ignites a fire in them, then we're doing the right thing.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Mosh.
Well, I might as well go ahead and get into the nerd shit even more.
Jedi. Let's make it 80s. Make it interesting. Let's still a theme here.
Okay. Would you go Star Wars or Star Trek?
Oh, it's got to be Star Wars.
Yes.
Okay.
It's got to be Star Wars.
I've only been hurt once on this show, so
So here's the second part of the question: are you going to be Jedi? Or are you going to be Sith?
Oh, I got to be Sith.
Ooh.
I got to be Sith. There's too much pussy shit being a Jedi. I like to just the guy that dives in the situations. There's no way I could make it as a Jedi.
I like to throw a wrench in it if you go into some of the books and you get into the graphic novels and stuff, and they started talking about the gray Jedi. That's where I would pick is the gray Jedi, because it was literally this balance between Jedi and Sith that they're still good, but they still adopted some things and used the dark side of the Force for some things. So I would have to go fucking Gray Jedi, and if I couldn't do that, then it would definitely be Sith because they're badass.
I would have to agree. I would really have to agree.
They always have like the fucking coolest shit.
Yeah,
that is too.
Like, I mean, like being a Jedi, you have to be celibate as well. You know, that's
fuck that. Yeah, fuck that.
It's like going in the priesthood.
Well, I don't know. Nowadays, my luck with women, I you know what? I might go Jedi.
Look, you keep that shit over there, okay? Keep that shit over there. That luck can stay with you.
Yeah, I might go Jedi. That would probably be a lot better for me.
No love but the Force.
Being celibate, that would probably help me out a ton. It would save me a lot of money and stress.
I'm not touching that one.
I'm just saying.
Just a little bit.
All right, CB, you up?
All right. So now that so I saw your DeLorean, and it kind of piqued a question for me. If you could go back in time to tell your younger self a bit of advice, a good, some very good advice, what would you tell yourself?
Just to keep my head down, keep going. Life, for everybody gets doubts and, thoughts of, am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? If I could tell myself anything back, go back in the past and say anything, it would be just, keep going, just keep your eyes on the target and just keep going towards it. I've made nothing but great decisions,
Okay.
Good.
I would go back and tell myself, don't ever drink Jägermeister.
Oh,
hey, that's one of my favorite drinks.
Some of the best times you'll ever remember.
Literally, all of my worst nights ever have started with Jaeger.
See, now I'm curious. Like, I kind of want to know one now.
Oh, Jesus Christ! No, you don't.
Yeah, I think. Well, you don't open the box.
Have you ever gotten sick on Jaeger?
No.
Yes.
Okay. I promise you, after you get sick and you puke after a night of drinking Jaeger, that is a taste and a smell you will never forget. And you'll never get it out of your mind. And the minute you even get close to a drink that contains Jaeger, your stomach's going to flip and you're going to puke on cue.
And not to mention the color when you throw it up.
Yeah, it's god awful. Now you got to think the actual Jaeger, like where it comes from. I think it's from Germany.
Yeah,
they make it out of fermented deer's blood, is what the actual original Jaeger is. So over in the United States, they try to mimic that, and you get this fucking nasty, disgusting black licorice bullshit that's in that goddamn fucking glass.
Well, see, but I like black licorice.
I don't. I fucking hate black licorice.
I used to like licorice until I experienced Sambuca. You ever tried it?
Yes, unfortunately, I have.
Yeah.
My first show that I ever played, I was 17, and we played in a bar, and of course they were selling everybody alcohol. So I just went, why not? I was really nervous, and I paid for 2 shots of Sambuca, and next thing the guy lanes up 5. He knew I was nervous, so I got 3 for free, and I downed them. And by the time I hit that stage, I was fine. Second song, it just started to hit.
Damn.
My buddy had to carry me home to my sister's house with my guitar still around me, and he was carrying me like that. I'm just dead. and pretty much just dumped me at my sister's door and went, "There you go."
Did you make it through the set?
I made it through the set with great difficulty. And I haven't really wanted to touch that shit since.
Don't
It's
feel
not.
bad. I think I was in my mid-20s. Now, I'd already been drinking a little bit, and I was nervous because it was the first time that I was ever opening for like a big band. And I was sick to my fucking stomach, just nervous as fuck. The whole place was packed out. I'm like, I'm sweating fucking bullets. So I start drinking a couple of beers. Well, I'm a cigar smoker. So I walked over and I'm about to light up my cigar. Now I pick it up and I fucking light that cigar. Well, the guy thought it'd be funny that about halfway through my cigar, they'd load up a bunch of fucking pot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I'm sitting there hitting it. Now, even though I wasn't like fucking inhaling it, because you don't really inhale a cigar, I was still getting it it was still going up my nose and shit like that. And they know that I have a very, anybody knows me knows I have an extremely low tolerance for flour. Extremely low. Yeah, I had to play the rest of the set on my ass because I was like slumped over my fucking cab. I was still playing, but I was slumped over and I couldn't get up because the minute I started to stand up, the whole fucking world started spinning. And as long as I was laying down, sitting still, I could play, and I continued to play, and I played the set. But as soon as they stood me up, I threw up all over the fucking stage. It was all bad. It was all bad. It was the worst experience ever. And I'm like, I don't know how people play stoned. I have no fucking idea how the hell they do it. To the ones that can do it, I fucking give you massive, massive props for being able to fucking do it. Because no.
I mean, like, we used to get a lot of stage fright, before we done a show, and I had started, smoking a bit of pot, and it got to the point where some of my best shows, I had it in my system. I'd jump into the stage, really enjoying myself, getting people sort of riled up a little bit, and they were some of my best shows. Some of my best performances were on pot.
Give it to you. I can't fucking do it. This man over here, he'll smoke the shit like fucking crazy, and he could operate just goddamn fine.
Yeah,
he was smoking before the damn show, and fucking I'm sitting there like, dude, if I smoked like that, I'd be fucking head down right now, fucking done. You just see the top of my head, and it had been done.
Well, you guys know I have one gummy and I'm out, so Yeah.
Can't help that.
I have a super low tolerance.
Professional.
All right, so getting into about fucking smoking weed and drinking and all that shit, especially smoking weed, because back in the days, one of the greatest things to do is fucking smoke weed or eat edibles or watch cartoons. What is your favorite 80s cartoon?
My favorite 80s cartoon? Mm-hmm. Wow. Let me see.
Oh boy, here it comes.
Like I'm excited to hear this one.
I was born in '93, so I can't really remember much 80s cartoons. I always remember watching what was it?
Oh, see, we're the exact same age because I was born '83. So
Masters.
I still watched 80s cartoons though. I remember a bunch of them.
I mean, you do. I mean, I remember the '90s, but
my main two were Silverhawks and Voltron.
Yeah, I suppose I would say maybe Transformers. I'd really like Transformers as a kid.
Yeah, I was a big Transformers kid too. Oh, and He-Man, Master of the Universe.
All right, now He-Man I can get down with because I did watch He-Man a lot as a kid.
I watched a lot of Johnny Quest.
Oh, fucking Thundercats! I forgot.
Oh yeah, I watched Thundercats. I like
Johnny Quest too. I forgot about that. Oh wait a minute, what about Speed Racer?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't really get into Speed Racer. It was
fuck that. I got into Speed Racer. I wanted one of those for a long time.
It was all right. My big one that nobody remembers is Silverhawks. Nobody remembers Silverhawks.
I vaguely remember that.
Dude, I had so many people talking shit to me. I had to fucking Google it just to make sure that I hadn't lost my mind or just imagine this cartoon that existed.
The Mandela effect.
Yes. I was like, dude, I have to Google this to make sure that it existed, that I'm not just losing my fucking mind. And it did. I found it. I did find it. Yeah, He-Man was another one of my big ones as a kid. All right, so getting into the music questions again before I hand it off to Mosh. If you could go on tour with any three bands of your choice, dead or alive, who'd you go on tour with?
I would go on tour with. I would definitely maybe go on tour with Def Leppard.
Okay.
Judas Priest. And I would definitely say maybe Pantera.
Oh shit! All right.
Like, I love Pantera, you know, their heavy stuff, but I loved their sort of the power metal album. It came out in 1988, and it was Phil's first album with him. And that guy, just when he opened his mouth, and just the wheels came out. But I loved their previous albums as well. Their singer was a guy called Terry Glaze.
Yeah,
and he was fantastic. He was pretty good too, you know. But gradually, as they wanted to go heavier, they needed someone to sort of sustain that vocally, and they went to New Orleans and found Phil, you know. And I love Pantera, like really love Pantera, love all their music, always have.
Okay, I dig that. All right, Mosh, you up?
You a PlayStation or an Xbox guy?
More of a PlayStation, but I have both.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Xbox fucking sucks.
Hey.
I'm sorry. I said what I said.
I wanted to throw into that since you brought it up. I'm going to kick it back to the 80s. If you could take any 80s game and revamp it for PlayStation today, what fucking game would you bring back?
It would have to be like maybe a Sega Mega Drive, you know, Atari sort of thing, maybe. You know, those games were fantastic. I mean, you can get the emulators now, and they're just not the same. But they were fantastic. You know, I owned probably nearly every. I had a lot of sisters, you see, and they had game consoles, so I sort of inherited them growing up, and I've had pretty much nearly every gaming console from then to now. You know, everything from maybe Dreamcast, you know, all the way to the Super Nintendo.
I had a Dreamcast. My first console was an Atari. And I think the first two, it came with two games, and it came with Pole Position and Donkey Kong. And that was the very two first games I ever fucking played. And then I think right after that it was a Sega, it wasn't Sega Genesis, but it was a Sega made
Mega Drive, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was what it was. And I had that for a very short time before we finally got a Sega Genesis. And I played Genesis forever before the first PlayStation came out.
Yeah.
We had the GameCube or the Dreamcast. We had the fucking Cube thing that was this weird fucking blue box thing, I think made by Nintendo.
That was a weird one.
It was the GameCube.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the GameCube is when I got my first taste of Spyro. I actually like Spyro. My mother loves Spyro.
How did you get a taste of it on the GameCube? It came out on PlayStation.
I don't know. They had it on. We had it on that GameCube. There was Spyro on that GameCube, and
Spyro's on Xbox too.
That's when I first started playing Spyro for the first time. Was on fucking GameCube.
Spyro was the shit, though. I will give you that
game. And Crash Bandicoot. That was great too.
Yeah.
Love that.
See, if I was to bring back an 80s game, it would have to be like I think it was in the 80s or it was the early 90s, the X-Men game that you always see at like the pizza parlors and shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that fucking X-Men game. I would have I'd bring that shit back. I'm a big Marvel fucking fanboy, so I would definitely bring that X-Men game back and make that like for now.
I would bring a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game.
Like, there was one. I remember the one. I think I played it. I think I had one on. Was it Nintendo? I think it was Nintendo.
It was Nintendo. But like, I would make that into like a game for like the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 6, whatever the fuck it is now. But still, could you imagine the freaking sales on that one though? I would sit here eating cheese pizza, like some cheesy ass cheese pizza, and playing that damn game.
That would be amazing. The memories would, it'd bring you right back.
ICB you up.
Okay, so now that we've gotten a little bit into the X-Men, are you DC or Marvel fan?
See, that's a difficult one because I have specific heroes that I like in both, but I would be more of a Marvel fan.
Okay.
See, me, we get along. That's how I am.
Yeah, we're big Marvel people around here.
My favorite character is definitely it's got to be the Cap.
Okay.
I love the Cap, like the Captain America. His backstory, when the sort of the comics of it were sort of released, the backstory of it was just, I thought it was fantastic. It's I think it's something that's they'll never be able to produce something like that for another way.
I dig that. That's the first person I've ever heard say Captain America. it's usually fucking Wolverine, Deadpool, one of the main. But I feel for it because the one I like my favorite Marvel character and my favorite DC character are characters that a whole lot of people like. I tell them that that's my favorite character, and they look at me like I've lost my goddamn mind. And it's like for me, Marvel, it was always Moon Knight. I loved fucking Moon Knight. And then DC, it's the Blue Beetle. Everybody's like, the Blue Beetle. I'm like, yes, I like the Blue Beetle. Fuck off.
I saw the movie of that. That was actually a really good movie.
It was.
Yeah, it really, really was fantastic. Another favorite of mine, God, I've almost forgot his name now. Of Blade. I was a big fan of Blade, growing up as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't understand that, the Blade movies, they pretty much just set the foundations for what Marvel is now, especially when it came to movies, So Blade's is a character I've always really sort of strove for. And when I seen him in the new movie, I was like, yes, he's good.
I love the fact that they brought
they've recasted him. Like they're redoing Blade and they've recasted him. But I'm just hoping that they end up going in and doing the Midnight Suns. That's what I hope they do. Because anybody who was a big fan of Marvel, it was a very short ran comic book, but it was like a darker side of Marvel. And it was like an Avengers team up of it was Blade, Ghost Rider, Wolverine, Doctor Strange, and I can't remember who all else was in that. But it was like
Scarlet Witch is in there too.
Yeah, it was like this more supernatural, darker side of Marvel was that whole team, and it was pretty badass. And the comic books were pretty graphic.
Going back to Blade though, I remember as a kid, like me and my brother would act out in the yard at like the final end of the first Blade movie. We would act it out with sticks and shit like that, and one of us always got hurt too. Whether it was me or him, one of us always got hurt.
I'm telling mom.
Oh no, it wasn't no telling mom or anything else like that. It was just a whack. Oh!
All right, so here's a little question flip for you. If you could play any music outside of the genre you play now, what genre of music would you play?
Oh, it would have to be synthwave. I love synthwave. I listen to synthwave every single day. And it's definitely something that we would love to explore. Maybe a wee bit of synth. Maybe in the future. You know, we've mentioned it a few times, and we're just going to sort of see how it kind of goes. You know, but there's nearly every member of our band. You know, they all love synthwave. You know, it's just a draw to. You know, and I mean, like I remember, I was doing like it was like a music test in school, and they sort of let us come up with like a project on our own, and I chose the synthwave genre, and I sort of, you know, set the beat and stuff to it, and that got me real great grades for that. The guy couldn't believe it. It was great. So it would definitely be synthwave.
I'm down with the synthwave. Definitely down with the synthwave.
Yeah, he's more of the synthwave guy. I'm more of the hard heavy metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still a fucking metalhead. I just like.
I know you still are a metalhead, but I mean, it's just your style. That's how you are.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I still wear fucking colorful, bright, fucking 80s style sunglasses, and yeah, and I like neon colors with black.
Yeah.
Oh God, I am stuck in the 80s. Oh fuck! I just realized that.
Well,
I think there's
I wear neon colors with everything.
Hello, old man. How you doing?
Can't say that word on here. We're all young. We're all young.
Well, apparently not anymore. That just got fucked up. Thanks, God.
Oh shit!
Fuck me. All right, Mello, you're up.
All right. So, would you choose the snowy Alps or the Bahamas?
You know what? I'm going to say the Bahamas because heat isn't really something that we get over here. And despite being born in a cold, wet country, you know, I'm not used to it. I love the heat. Love the heat.
Me and him are becoming best friends right now. All right. Because I hate cold. I hate fucking snow. I don't want to see it.
We are not supposed to say the S word.
What?
You know what I fucking said?
Really? Yeah.
What? I know I ain't gonna get any.
Yeah, you are not gonna get any. Obviously. Lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm sitting here dealing with it now. I'm sitting here just
so much nicer to be nice and warm and be able to be outside and doing fun shit. And I like being on the water and in the water. It's just nicer than fucking freezing your ass off.
I mean, like, you know, at times when it's got really snowy, you know, over here, and we've got a lot of snowstorms, you know, I've done some pretty stupid shit in the snow. I've got drunk, I've took my clothes off and decided to go for a run. And Dave asked first into a pile of snow.
Oh no!
It freezes the balls off you. It freezes the balls off you.
Why would you want to be in a place that your nipples are constantly hard 24/7? That would get annoying as fuck.
Like that.
Guy or girl. Like
my whole body is
that shit hurts right after a while.
Oh, it hurt. It hurt. I had to get it really hurt.
Oh man, like that completely sucks just thinking about it.
The good thing is, but you know, with the whiskey in my system at the time, I couldn't feel a thing. The next morning, it was bad.
The minute you wake up, instant regret.
Uh-huh.
And not because of the whiskey.
All right, CB, you're up, brother.
All right. So, what is your favorite horror movie?
Well, I really loved Wes Craven growing up, and I really loved Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
It just it really it was different. You know, it was the first two were frightening, but you know, gradually, as I watched them on, through the third, fourth, and fifth, they they just became really funny, full of humor and stuff like that.
What were your what was your favorite out of that series? Sorry, I mean, like that you kind of played into that question because I'm a big Nightmare on Elm Street fan too.
Well, I specifically loved I loved them all, but my most favorite would be the third. I mean, they brought Dawkins in to do the soundtrack for that, and Into the Fire, Dream Warriors. I mean, again, just music that it just hits the spot. And that was the first time I'd ever heard them. So it's sitting watching it as a kid and going, oh, I love this movie, but this music, something else.
Yeah,
I'm right there with you.
Favorite one. It's definitely my favorite one. Actually, another a good 80s horror film that I was real big on whenever I was a kid was Critters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I loved Critters. I know y'all are already shaking your head talking shit. I liked Critters, okay? I liked Critters.
To each their own. To each their own.
Get off me.
Now, mine wasn't a movie, but my favorite is Tales from the Crypt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Specifically Demon Knight.
Yeah.
I mean,
fantastic. Demon Knight also had one of the greatest fucking soundtracks ever.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a funny story about the Crypt Keeper. If my guitar player Kieran's watching this right now, he's going to laugh his head off because this refers to him. The place where we practice, it's not too far from where I live, and we've practiced there for the better part of 10 years in our own band and other bands. And there was always this old guy, really frail, very bony, and he used to kind of just abruptly push the door, right, time's up, and we nicknamed him the Crypt Keeper. I think he's still around there.
That was fucking fantastic. So getting into playing live and all that, what is the most embarrassing moment that you have ever had on stage?
I haven't had much embarrassing moments myself.
All right, throw one of your members on the bus.
At our launch, at our album launch, anything that could have went wrong, But the guys handled it like a boss. We were pretty much just kicking into the songs, and Kieran was having difficulty with his amp. His amp just it blew. It literally just blew. Shit. And they another one of the bands had to sort of run back to his car and get his amp, and we were able to continue the show. But we'd done a cover of Quiet Rat, Mental Health, and it the way it worked out, it wasn't a fail at all. People actually thought it was part of what we were doing. It was part of the show, and I could just see Chris looking at me and going, right, I suppose we may just have to play this. And so we did, and it came up to that solo, and Kieran had got everything set up, and he just turned right around and kicked right into that solo, and the place just erupted. And I sort of felt the adrenaline kick, coming back into me again, so I couldn't help it. I was jumping all over the place and jumping into the crowd, and everybody thought it was part of the show. But that's probably just one of the bad things that's probably happened to us. Just on stage, especially at our debut. But Kieran handled that he handled it a lot better than what I could have. Come to think of it, I've had a few situations myself. I have a habit of sort of lifting the mic stand and swinging the mic, and one of the times the mic actually came out and nearly split someone open in the crowd.
Oh shit! Oh damn!
Down and grab it, was popping back on, and sorry. And run back on stage and sort of get it on with.
That's all right. Don't feel bad. I knocked out my guitarist once with my bass. I did. I was trying to do the whole fucking swinging the fucking bass around, which I'd been doing it And this is one day I swung that fucking bass around. It came around and the whole strap busted and broke and went, smacked him right in the side of the fucking head, out cold. I mean, it knocked him out fucking unconscious. Done.
The only guy that hasn't made a mistake on stage is Danny, our bass player. He's just he's never made one mistake. You know, gradually, you know what drummers are like. You know, our drummer would be drumming away, and next thing you look around, he's got one stick broke, and he's trying to reach for the other one. And the bass player, Danny, he would be the only one that hasn't done a thing. Danny just sits cool and collective on the stage and plays.
All right, fair enough. All right, Mosh, what you got?
So, given the fact that we're talking about, you know, going on tour and stuff like that, besides Jagz' answer of a working bathroom and shower, what is your dream bus with unlimited budget? You could have everything you wanted on this bus. You could have it double layered, whatever.
Honestly, we've never been even on a tour bus, even to begin with. So you could literally bring it some, you know, beat up rack, and we would be like, yeah, this is great. You know, we would make the most of everything, you know. But honestly, I don't know. We're not particularly picky with anything, you know. We just sort of take what we're given, and we would just use it to the full capability that it can go, you know, through breakdowns, through everything, you know.
See, like Jagz would have the extravagant bathroom, the porcelain toilet, and all that other type of stuff. Waterfall, shower. That's what he would have, and I know he would.
I like if you've ever been on tour, which I have.
No, we've never been.
You have to have the most important goddamn thing in your life is to have a working toilet and a working shower, especially getting a shower, because the first time that you ever have to get off a stage, and most of the bands I've been in, we wore costumes and masks. You sweat really you already sweat bad on that fucking stage, because some of you, if you're not a musician, you ain't ever played on stage, you don't realize how hot it is. With them, just the fucking lights alone beaming down on you while you're playing is horrendous, fucking hot. But when
it's like a hot plate on his mantle.
Yeah, when you put masks and clothes and makeup and everything else and stack up, it's hot. The worst thing you can do is realize that you have to go to sleep that night to get to the next city, but you have to sleep all sweaty and nasty. And you fucking wake up all sticky and disgusting and smelling like fucking straight gutter asshole. You will never forget it. It'll be the worst sleep you ever got, and you will never forget it, ever. Which is why from that moment on, you'll be like, all I want to make sure that it works is that fucking shower and bathroom.
Yeah, I suppose it would be bad too. You've got all your band members, in the bus, and they all smell the same way. Everybody's sweaty and all. I don't think it'd be a very good smell.
It smell like a damn locker room.
It's not. Uh-huh. So on that, we have gotten to the end. But before anybody goes, we do have a music video for Dead Addiction for the song Not Alone. So, of course, we're going to play that for you guys. Make sure you go check out Dead Addiction on all the social media platforms. Go follow them, go listen to the music, go download everything, whatever you got to do to help these guys out, support them. On that, Joe, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Been a lot of fun.
Well, guys, thank you. It's been incredible. I really enjoyed myself.
No problem. On that, here is Not Alone by Dead Addiction.
You're listening to San Vector City Radio with Dave the Rave. Who cares? How long has it been? 4 years? 4 goddamn years stuck in this tower. 4 years, the only radio station still left broadcasting. Who am I kidding? Nobody has been listening this entire time.